We had several bad boys in my class, but Simon was the worst of them. He dated my best friend Holly until he dumped her in the most cruel way you could imagine. He told her, "You are the worst girlfriend that ever existed. You never make jokes, you are always quiet, and it's impossible to have fun with you." Holly is a super sensitive girl, so after the breakup, she cried for weeks non-stop, saying, "No guy will ever like me." I tried to console her, saying, "He's a jerk, forget about him." But she responded, "How can I? He gave me genital herpes and it won't go away." Okay, that was the icing on the cake. I knew I had to revenge Holly and destroy Simon's pathetic life. The only question was, how? I decided I first had to get close to him. And that wasn't too hard because he was constantly hitting on me. Most girls would have loved to date him because of his looks and charm, but I knew he was a selfish jerk. So, to revenge my best friend, I smiled at Simon. He immediately came over and said, "Hey, you look good today." I pretended to be flattered and responded, "Thank you, you look good too." We arranged a date at a restaurant, but instead of eating, Simon aggressively tried to kiss me. I wondered if this was actually working on girls, but then I stopped him saying, "Look, I really like you, but I can't kiss a guy on the first date." He laughed and said, "Okay, how many dates do you need to feel comfortable?" "Maybe 5. He smiled again. He probably already imagined taking my clothes off. But when I got back to school, I flirted with another bad boy. His name was Robin, and he had already been in 2 fights with Simon. They hated each other to death. And while Simon was a good-looking womanizer, Robin was fearless and dangerous. When I talked to him, I laughed about everything he said, flirting as hard as I could. I knew he was attracted to me, and to be honest, I liked him too. He was rough on the outside, but good from the inside. Well, when Simon saw us two talking, he came over and said, "Get away from my girl." Robin responded, "Don't annoy me." But Simon physically pushed Robin back and they started fighting each other again. It was crazy. Everyone in our school was watching. And afterwards, I told my friends to spread rumors that Simon and Robin were competing for me. Now their reputations were on the line. Whoever got me first would get the glory. It was almost funny. And the following weekend, I met up with Simon again. This time, I had dressed so sexy that he couldn't take his eyes off me. Meanwhile, I was giving him a lot of mixed signals. I non-stop smiled as if I desperately wanted to sleep with him. But whenever he touched me, I said, "Nah, not today." He could barely control himself. And when I got back to school, I flirted with Robin again. This time we were in the cafeteria though. Teachers were everywhere. So when Simon came over to us, he couldn't just punch Robin in the face. Robin said, "If you want to come sailing this weekend, I'm going to show you how to do it. And if you're lucky, we're going to catch a fish." I responded, "Oh my God, I love fish," cheering like a stupid little girl. But when Simon said, "Don't go fishing with that goof, I'll take you shopping and let you buy whatever you want," I responded, "Shopping? Oh my God, I love shopping too." Both of them were ready to kill each other. I almost enjoyed playing with them too much, so I had to remind myself that I was on a mission to destroy Simon. That's when I had an idea. I would simply show everyone in our school that Simon had herpes. Maybe then, girls wouldn't fall for him anymore. But first, I needed proof. So I invited Simon over to my place. He went right for the kiss, but I said, "Wait, my friend told me you have herpes. If you kiss me, will I be infected?" "What? No, I don't have any disease." "Come on, tell me the truth." "Okay, whatever, I have herpes, but it's no big deal as long as we are careful." "I'm sorry, I just can't do it." "Then why did you invite me here if you knew about it?" "I'm sorry, I'm so stupid." He was really angry and insulted me a few more times, but that only made it better because I was secretly filming us. Afterward, I met up with Robin, showed him the video, and explained that I had only hung out with Simon to revenge my best friend Holly. I said, "You have to protect me from Simon. I don't know what he's going to do when I send the video to everyone in our school." Robin smiled, saying, "No problem." Next week in school was crazy. Everyone talked about Simon and his herpes, but apparently he was too embarrassed to come back to school, so I didn't see him again. However, 6 months later, Simon wrote me a message saying, "Leave me alone." I responded, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Someone keeps sending your stupid video to everyone I know. It's ruining my life."
Am I the asshole for making my boyfriend rehome his German Shepherd? Me and my boyfriend have been together since we were in university. We're both 23 and recently moved in together. We both went to our local university, so we both lived at home so we'd be able to save money. Around a year after we started dating, my boyfriend got a German Shepherd puppy. I've never been a fan of German Shepherds, but I'm a dog lover, so I wasn't going to tell him not to get one when we weren't even living together yet. When we moved in, my dislike of German Shepherd was confirmed. The dog leaves hair all over the place, barks whenever someone walks by our house, needs extreme amounts of exercise. I could go on for hours. However, I was willing to put up with it since my boyfriend had otherwise trained him well. I now realize how stupid that was since the dog breed seems to have problems regardless of how well it's trained. I recently got a Rottweiler puppy, and to say that I formed a bond with him would be an understatement. The German Shepherd, on the other hand, didn't take too kindly to the puppy and would have made its disdain for the dog known. Me and my boyfriend took the dog to the vet to see where the issue could come from, and she told us that some German Shepherds just don't get along with other dogs. My boyfriend suggested that we may have to rehome my puppy due to his puppy's disdain of him, and he could still find a good home since he was only 5 months. The thought of rehoming something I loved for a dog I couldn't stand mortified me, and to think that the only reason for rehoming him would be because of another dog's nasty behavior didn't make the situation any better. I told my boyfriend that there was no way I was rehoming my puppy and that I'd be willing to move out if need be. After days of arguing, my boyfriend took the dog to the local shelter. The house has been much quieter since, and I can honestly say it was one of the best decisions I ever made. My sister, on the other hand, didn't hold this sentiment and actually referred to me as an evil bitch for putting my boyfriend in this position. So it got me thinking, am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for not having my stepdaughter in the family photo? I, 32 female, and my husband Jack, 36 male, have 3 kids together. Lydia, 5, Carol, 2, Solomon, 8. Jack has an Ephraim, 8 female from a different marriage. It's our last week of summer before the kids start school, so we decided to rent a lovely little beach cottage for the week. It's a common theme in my family to take Christmas card photos while on vacation, so naturally I wanted to take the photos while we were away. Here's a problem. Jack is white, but Ephraim's mom is black, and she turned out looking very much like her. I don't care what race she is, but my parents, however, are pretty racist. I have limited contact with them for several reasons, so they've never met Ephraim, but we're on Christmas card terms. I don't want to send them a card that Ephraim is on because they will make a fuss about the certain word with the hard R, child. So my plan was to take pictures with just me, husband, and bio kids for my parents and a couple other relatives, and then have her be in the picture for Jack's family and our friends. But when I called picture time and told Ephraim she wasn't going to be in this picture but the next one, she started to look upset. I did let her take our pictures, which lifted her spirits, and we got some lovely pictures with her too. We also got some ice cream, and she hasn't been upset beyond that initial moment. The trouble came later when Jack asked why I didn't want Ephraim in the photo. He said he thought it was maybe so I could get one with all of my kids. I didn't want to lie to him, so I told him why, because I don't want Ephraim to be exposed to people who could potentially and emotionally hurt her. Just like that, he went from being understanding to pissed. And I guess he said, she didn't want you in her picture because you're black, or something like that to his daughter, and now she's upset with me too. I really wasn't trying to hurt her in any way. I did this out of care and love, but I think I might have done it in a wrong way. So, am I the asshole? Am I wrong for not wanting to name our first child Black? My partner and I are having our first child, and I stupidly made a deal with them where they got to name our child if it was a boy, and I got to name it if it was a girl. I know, I messed up. Well, we are having a boy, and the names my partner are coming up with are not for me. I have managed to convince them to forget the deal we made, so at least that element is gone. But this does still mean they seem to have a little more say than I do in the situation. Anyway, the name they are really eager to use is Black. We both want something a bit different without being too hippity-dippity, and this is the outcome. The reasoning is something along the lines of, colors as names are already a thing. Violet, blue, and black is just a cool color. They just think it sounds really cool. However, I think it's a bit odd since we are both white. It just seems to me like, yeah, it's a color, but it's more than that. It's a race, and a race is a pretty sensitive topic. They think this is crazy logic that has nothing to do with race, and making it about race is absurd. Just to clarify, we will not name our child anything we both don't agree on, but this convo has now become more about whether or not the name is just a color or something more charged, and neither of us can really see from the other's perspective. So, am I wrong here? Am I the asshole for trying to prove if someone's boobs are fake? One of my 30 female close friends, male 30, went on a date with this girl. The next day, we all went to the gym and he was raving about her body, especially her chest. I took one good look at her and proceeded to tell my friend that her boobs were most definitely fake. I could tell right away that they were a bit too perfect to be real. My friend then asked if it's because I've seen her naked before in the locker room. I actually haven't, but that doesn't matter. He begs me to find out if they're fake or not, but I refuse. The problem is, now that I put the thought into his head, he doesn't want to date her anymore. A few days later, I was in the sauna at the gym when my friend's date, Sidra, walks in. I overhear her telling her friend how she went on this amazing first date, and he asked her out on a second date, but out of nowhere calls and cancels and says he doesn't want to see her again. I scoff loudly and apologize for eavesdropping on their conversation. She then starts removing her towel while introducing herself to me. I got up to shake her hand but lost my balance and fell right into her while my hands grabbed onto her chest to break my fall. And, well, they're most definitely real. I then tell my friend Jerry about what happened at the gym and he freaks out because he canceled his date based on my assumption. I feel really bad for making the assumption first, but Jerry is also at fault for canceling a date over such a simple matter.